begin with our high holiday nigun as we connect Rosh Hashanah, our New Year, as we march towards Yom Kippur during these Aseret Yamei Teshuvah, these 10 days of return. Shabbat Shuvah is maybe a more subdued Shabbat, a Shabbat of reflection, a Shabbat in which we try to stay in that mode of searching, of yearning for returning to the right path. It's a Shabbat of memory as we consider this past year. And especially this Shabbat, it's a little more subdued, a Shabbat of memory as we come to the 20th anniversary of 9/11 tomorrow, and we hold that moment in our thoughts and our prayers, and later in our service we'll have a chance to consider this moment. For those who are here, I invite you to wave, say Shabbat Shalom to one another around you. Please also turn to those who are at home, give a Shabbat Shalom to the camera. We welcome everyone as our minyan starts here and extends far and wide. I was told the Ellis's, Steve Ellis texted me and said that I think Benjamin was in Mexico, if I'm not mistaken, and Julia was in Panama, and they were joining us on the high holidays. So that was really special to learn. We're going to continue now on pages 2 and 3 as Elena Rausch comes forward to kindle and bless our Shabbat candles. Try to relight. We'll see. The wind feels good, and we'll hope the glass does its job. But if not, that's okay. Let's continue together in English on page 7. Where has the week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time, contain the retreat of the hours and the days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into the quiet world on this day. On this day, Shabbat, abide. And we continue with our Psalms for Shabbat. Psalm, and this selection of Psalms, Psalm 97, we'll also sing on Kol Nidre, page 14. Or Zarua la Tzadik Yisraelev Simcha. Light is sown for the righteous, joy for those who do the right thing. Shabbat Bride on pages 20 and 21, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9 together. 1, 2, 5, and 9. On 9 we rise and we invite Shabbat into our midst. Continue with Baruch Hu, page 28. English together on the top of page 31. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of the day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. El Chai v'Kayam, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai, Hamari v'Aravi. Give thanks for the gift of Torah. Together, page 32, everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah, mitzvot, laws, and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch Ata Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam. Be seated. Page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi tzavecha Hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta b'am, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, u'vlechtecha b'derech, u'shochbecha u'vkumecha, u'shartam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha. Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kirushim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. The words of the poet Yehuda Amichai. And what is my lifespan? I'm like a man gone out of Egypt. The Red Sea parts, I cross on dry land, 2 walls of water on my right and on my left. Before me, the desert. Behind me, Pharaoh's army. That is my lifespan. Page 40. Mahou Moshe u'Miriam ze'elianu ve'ameru Adonai Enoch Adonai Enoch le'olam va'ed V'ne'emar ki fad Adonai et Yaakov ugalo minan chazak mimenu Baruch ata Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Before we join together in our Hashivenu prayer, I invite you on pages 42 and 43 if you'd like to find either the Hebrew or an English translation or interpretation to whisper to yourself as we pray for what we all need, which is Sukkot Shalom, a place for shelter, comfort, and wholeness. Page 45. A thought has blown the marketplace away. There's a song on the wind and joy in the trees. Shabbat arrives in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night. Eternity utters a day. Our Amidah begins on page 46. We're going to stay in our High Holiday Nusach and motif because during Shabbat Shuvah we add Zofreinu and Micha Mocha Av Harachamim in Givurot. So these words remind us that we're planted with both feet firmly in the Yamim Noraim. If you're able, we rise. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha Adonai that my lips and my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Velohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Velohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Ve'hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Ve'koneh HaKol Ve'zocher Chasei Avot Ve'imahot U'mevii Geulah Livnei Bneihem Leman Shemo Ve'ahava Zochreinu Lechaim Melech Hafetz B'chaim V'chotvenu B'sefer HaChaim V'chotvenu B'sefer HaChaim V'chotvenu B'sefer HaChaim Le'mancha Elohim Chaim Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayeh HaKol Atah Rav Le'Oshia Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofeh Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Mi chamocha b'gevurot umi domeh lach Melech meimit umechayeh umazniach Yeshua Mi chamocha Avarachamim zocher yitzurav lechaim berachamim v'ne'eman atah lechayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah Baruch atah Adonai, HaMelech HaKadosh. You continue silently, and when you're done with your own silent prayer, you may be seated. started with a selection from Psalms, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach. O God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. As we come out of our Amidah, we remember that there are some things that words can't even begin to express. So we turn to Nigun, we turn to melody without any words to transcend that which is beyond language, just the yearning of our hearts. Our prayer for healing is on page 253. Of course, there are so many in our world, so many in our lives in need of healing, and we pray that our intention, our kavanah, our mentioning their names might alleviate some of their suffering. We're praying this Shabbat for Colin Monroe, Mary Lou Houle, Janet Watson, Paul Robillard, Elizabeth Hill, Kelso Silva, Professor Enrico Mascaro, Deborah Booker, Dick Feibelman, Amy Seich, Robert Bloom, Annalie Stone, Benjamin Horowitz, Bradley Dichter, Matteo Goldman, Judy Cook, Fruma Batharab, Jacob Vasonia, Dan Ruggiero, Toby Weiner, Svetlana Rabinovich, Dalia Harel, Esya Ruchazkaya, Amy Fasberg Kurtz, Eileen Arnone, Charles Atkins, Marilyn Breyer, Jean Sands, Roseanne Cohen, Doug Cohen, Tom Fiorino, Michelle Heller, Barry Levine, Margaret G., Joseph Beeson. course, we invite you who are watching at home to share your loved one's name out loud. Let their names be heard in your home. We join together. Either Amazon needs a Shabbat, or God willing, that Amazon truck that's just pulling up is delivering healing right on time. They do.
It's the booster shots.
It's the booster shots for our spirits. I don't even know what to think.
Why not, right?
I suppose there's a sermon in that, but that's not for tonight. We'll have to let that one marinate a bit. The passage of time is always a strange and sometimes disorienting thing. You don't think about it, perhaps, and then all of a sudden years and decades pass. And as we approach the 20th anniversary of 9/11 tomorrow, I've actually been dwelling on the significance of 9/12. I don't expect that you've given much thought to 9/12, but for me it was a life-changing experience. I became an uncle for the first time on 9/12. 2001. My older brother's first son, Mose, was born, and Mose will be 20 tomorrow on Saturday, and he's blessed right now and good health, and he's studying abroad at the Berklee College of Music, Spain campus. 20 years ago, the juxtaposition of 9/11 and 9/12 pulled me in two opposite spiritual and emotional directions. The shock, fear, and sadness of the 11th gave way to joy, gratitude, and excitement over the birth of my nephew. So many lives lost on the 11th, and a new life, hope, on the 12th. I've been thinking about Moses' peers who grew up never being able to know their parents because they perished on that day. We recall those images of the towers with flames billowing from the top floor, first responders rushing in as others rushed out, escaping for their lives. What incredible bravery. What incredible presence and selflessness exhibited by the passengers on United Flight 93, from the crew members and passengers who fought the hijackers to those who simply took out their phones and called their loved ones in their final moments to say, "I love you." In many ways, our nation has been straddling the 11th and the 12th for the past 2 decades, before and after. A moment of cataclysm, then moving forward, trying to put pieces together to assemble some kind of response. Our Jewish tradition can offer wisdom for this anniversary and guide us in our response. First, Judaism values the holiness of memory. In the words of the Baal Shem Tov, founder of Hasidism, in memory we find the secret of redemption. When we say Kaddish, we intentionally and actively make present those who are no longer with us. Over the next 24 hours, on radio or TV, listen to the stories of those who survived the attacks and those who lost loved ones. Recall your own stories, or if you weren't alive yet, perhaps, ask those who were about their stories. Where were you? How were you affected? Redemption follows memory because it gives meaning to what transpired. It escorts us across the chasm of before and after. Second, Judaism reminds us that we control our response to tragedy. In this week's Torah portion, Ha'azinu, Moses teaches a song to the Israelites that he implores for them to commit to memory. Its lyrics tell of a people who will forget their priorities and lose their way and suffer tragedy, exile, and dislocation. The song ends with Moses predicting that the Israelites will once again find their compass and recommit to their core values. As our military response to 9/11 comes to an end this month, with more dislocation and tearing as we watch the sights from the airport in Kabul, we are reminded that military solutions can only go so far. We're also reminded that the threats that come at us from the outside are also sometimes not as trying or as daunting as those that threaten us from inside our community and inside our society. Rebuilding American society from the inside is what will truly enable us to overcome 9/11, those enemies who sought to weaken us. One of those American values is unity in diversity and difference. People of dozens of nationalities, ethnicities, and religious backgrounds lost their lives in the indiscriminate act of violence that transpired that day. So our commitment to life and liberty, justice and equality, fairness and opportunity stand as the greatest defense against extremism and bigotry. And finally, we're taught that on the afternoon of Tisha B'Av, as the day wears on, recalling the tragedies that have befallen our people, that it's on that afternoon that the Messiah is born. In fact, there's a story told about a Polish community that was so sure that the Messiah was born that afternoon of Tisha B'Av that they actually burned copies of the books of Lamentations, certain that the next year that they would not need to read from that book, for the Messiah would have come. We believe that at the nadir of our experience exists the potential for a better future and a healed world. In our sadness, we reach for hope. I can't help but think of my nephew and the countless children born on 9/12, and know that 9/11 is not the end of our story. Our memories, our values, our hope can help bring comfort. More than that, those things need to continue to inspire us, especially in the spirit of this season, so that we work towards repair and healing in our nation, not only from external threats, but from the inside, from the internal maladies that plague us. And if we can do that, we will prove ourselves worthy of those who lost their lives on 9/11. We will make sure that their memories will live on as a blessing, just as we'll ensure that this nation, tapestry, the quilt of many peoples brought together by high ideals, that nation persists. I was thinking just now, I was just thinking about how 20 years ago it seems that, and this was a tradition added to baseball games actually, when they resumed the singing of God Bless America, of course, reaching back to that, the beauty of that tapestry, since it's written by a Jew, Irving Berlin, and captures some of the vulnerability I think that we all felt in 2001, perhaps continue to feel, and also recognize the splendor, the blessing of this place. So, wasn't on my outline or plan, but we'll offer God Bless America. You can find the words on page 376. Holidays are here. Yom Kippur is next week. There's not a lot more than we need to know. Go to the website, check your shofar email for all of the important information. Shabbat does continue tomorrow with our Leilad Minyan. You can find the Zoom link in your Temple Beth David e-shofar. Also coming up on September 19th, Brotherhood will lead the congregation in putting up our sukkah. It's going to be on this side of the building, since we have a tent on this side, and you can't build a sukkah under a tent. It ain't kosher. So it'll be on this side, and that's at 11:45 Sunday, September 19th. We're going to turn to our concluding prayers now. Aleinu l'shabeach is on page 282. We rise. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tekiv la'lioser breshit, shelo asanu kigoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. Page 293. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. This Shabbat, we're in the period of Shloshim for Bernard Tarr, father of Allison Popper, father-in-law of Jeff Popper, grandfather of Isaac and Brandon. It is the yahrzeit in this Shabbat of Sumner H. Cohen, Barbara Ann Feibelman, Douglas Richard Feibelman, Richard Chaim Glazer, Marilyn Acker Graff, Robert Keeley, Ruth Levy, William Ritvo, Max Schreiber, Samuel Winograd, David Cohen, Samuel B. Epstein, and Dorothy Weissman. And of course, we hold in our hearts all those who perished on 9/11. To those names we add invite you at home to share the names of your loved ones as we join together on page 294 and make them present through memory and thank God for that gift. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shmei rabbah, be'alma divrach yutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chai chon v'yomei chon v'chai d'chol beit Yisrael, b'agalal v'zman karmi v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah v'varach le'olam u'amei almaya, yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei kudsha b'richu, le'elam mikol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran v'yoma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba mishamaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel. Shabbat Shalom. Shana Tova.